Welcome to the History of North America. I'm Mark Vinette. This episode, we take a break from our regular historical narrative to highlight a few movies, series, programs, documentaries, and books that showcase North American history and refer to topics covered so far in this series. In episode 2 of our saga, we discovered that the continental crust of North America started to form 4 billion years ago and then began large-scale motion. The rigid outermost shell of our planet is broken into tectonic plates. Where the Earth's plates meet, their relative movement caused geologic activity along these plate boundaries or faults. One such boundary is the continental San Andreas Fault that extends through California. It forms a tectonic boundary between the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, and its horizontal motion produces earthquakes. The 2015 disaster film San Andreas, starring Dwayne Johnson and Paul Giamatti, centers on an earthquake caused by the San Andreas Fault devastating Los Angeles and the San Francisco Bay Area. The visual effects are outstanding and the non-stop action is gripping and effective, making this a solid popcorn fare. You may recall that Episode 3 introduced the age of North American dinosaurs. Adults will appreciate the many documentaries available on the topic, including the fascinating saga of Sioux, the T-Rex, discovered in South Dakota and now permanently featured at the Field Museum of Natural History in Chicago, Illinois. Also, small children can join in the fun with The Land Before Time and Dinosaur Train series that stomped into my home not so long ago. The KT asteroid event that killed the terrestrial dinosaurs involved an object from outer space. I recently explored our solar system when watching Away, a 2020 American science fiction drama streaming television series starring Hilary Swank. I initially had high hopes for the program and its quality special effects, but alas, viewers were soon inundated with too much personal and emotional character backstories and not enough space adventure and exploration. I cover the evolution of humans and their eventual migration to North America in episodes 4 and 6. The 1981 movie Quest for Fire is set in Paleolithic Europe 80,000 years ago, with its plot surrounding the struggle for control of fire by early humans. The Canada-France co-production is a film adaptation of a 1911 Belgian novel. The film was critically acclaimed and won the Academy Award and British Academy Award for Best Makeup and the French César Awards for Best Film and Director. The movie was shot on location in the Scottish Highlands, Kenya, Vancouver Island, British Columbia, and along the Niagara Escarpment in Ontario, Canada. I first saw this prehistoric flick with my college anthropology class. Although I enjoyed the movie, our course professor was not amused, protesting to his students afterwards that there were many serious scientific problems with the mixture of different levels of advancement among diverse tribes living in close proximity. He encouraged us to further research the matter, which I did. It was then that I developed my philosophy of multi-sourcing the history presented in big and small screen entertainment or pop culture. Ever since then, I have adhered to a minimum 2 sources rule when checking the historical veracity of any kind of program that connects with past events. Viewers should never rely on just an entertainment source to form an opinion. They should explore other sources. This may be time-consuming, but it is well worth the effort and is often intellectually stimulating, satisfying, and can lead to critical thinking and analysis while being an interesting, eye-opening, and productive enterprise. For example, when watching a history-related TV show, my primary goal, of course, is leisure, pleasure, and enjoyment. But once the viewing is finished, I always take a few minutes to follow up and cross-check using traditional or new technology on the historical elements of the program. By following this simple process, I expand my knowledge about the entertainment I just consumed and add to my general awareness of history, biography, and chronology. It's fun and something adults can do with kids. Never walk away or waste an opportunity from learning history and adding to your brain's databank. It makes the life of the mind more enjoyable. In Episode 9, we explored one of the most famous and celebrated Mesoamerican civilizations, the Maya. The film 2012 is an action-packed science fiction disaster story. Released in 2009, this blockbuster movie follows a geologist who discovers the Earth's crust is becoming unstable after a massive solar flare caused by an alignment of the planets. The film refers to Mayan 2012 doomsday scenario phenomenon in its portrayal of cataclysmic events. In episodes 14 to 16, we investigated the accuracy of Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. It depicts Mayan society as beautiful and sophisticated, but at the same time, very brutal. At its core, it's an old-fashioned chase movie, which takes the viewer on a roller coaster ride of chills and thrills. In many ways, the film is also very elegant and stylish. But, like all Mel Gibson historical epic films, Apocalypto is not for the squeamish or faint-hearted. Despite its splendor and craftsmanship, it's raw, violent, and graphic. So guardians of young children, beware. Gibson presents the Maya at their best and their worst. He portrays the Maya basically as no different from other ancient human cultures, a mixture of good, bad, positive, and negative elements. It's a film that also makes you think about the power structure of societies and how the elite maintain and expand their powers by sacrificing others, not themselves, always others. Leaders seem ready, willing, and able to sacrifice others for their perceived notion of what is good for society, which they maintain a firm grip upon. The Mayan religion, like all religions, serve the same function. They help people cope with the uncertainties of life and death. They explain the mysteries of the supernatural and the meaning of the soul, while defining the place of humans in the cosmos and reinforcing social and political values. Other Mayan-inspired entertainment includes the 2008 supernatural horror film, The Ruins, set in a Mexican village near the ruins of a Mayan temple. The PBS Nova series presents an excellent documentary titled Cracking the Maya Code that traces key discoveries in the effort to understand the Maya script, hieroglyphics, and language. For all you parents and grandparents, your little ones will have fun visiting ancient Mesoamerica while enjoying Dora the Explorer programs titled The Mayan Adventure and Conquistadora the Explorer, as well as her friend Go Diego Go's The Great Jaguar Rescue. These fun titles were once very popular in my home. The age of legendary Norse heroes is unveiled in episodes 17 and 18. This fascinating epoch is also brought to life in the long-standing historical fantasy drama series Vikings. Although not for the nervy or gentle souls, this blood-soaked graphic show is quite entertaining and packed with Scandinavian adventures. Also, check out two contemporary big-budget docudramas titled Charlemagne and The Normans that both recount the dramatic, violent, and bawdy life of the Middle Ages. Recent episodes of my podcast and videocast introduced Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain. To learn more about their daughter, Catherine of Aragon, savor the exquisite historical drama television limited series, The Spanish Princess, based on the books of Philippa Gregory. To commemorate the 500th anniversary of Christopher Columbus's epic voyage of exploration, two major motion pictures were released in 1992. The first movie, titled Christopher Columbus, The Discovery, was released in August with a lineup of top-notch actors including Marlon Brando, Tom Selleck, George Corafas, Rachel Ward, and Benicio del Toro. The second film, titled 1492 Conquest of Paradise, was released a few months later in October and starred Gérard Depardieu, Armand Assante, Sigourney Weaver, and was directed and produced by Ridley Scott. I found them both to be interesting and satisfactory. Join me next time as we continue to navigate the age of exploration. Please consider supporting our History of North America series in the following ways. Join our growing community on Patreon. We offer lots of membership benefits, including artworks and books. Receive an ebook welcome gift upon joining. Donate with PayPal and also receive an ebook. I've written many historical nonfiction and fiction books, including exciting international historical mystery and suspense thrillers. One such novel, The Frozen Raptor, involves the KT dinosaur extinction event, alluded to in this episode. All my books are available in print and digital format on Amazon. If you shop Amazon for books or anything else, make sure to use our free link so Amazon knows who sent you, thereby giving us extra credit with no supplemental cost to you. All links appear in this show's description and on our website at markvinet.com. Spread the word to family and friends. And remember, All positive ratings, reviews, feedback, and comments are appreciated. This helps us expand our audience. I'm Mark Vinette, and I hope you're enjoying the ride.